really not a lot like it on streaming, and I think it's
Agreed.
something that. And I was just talking to one of my friends about it. I'm like, you can watch that show with your 5-year-old son, and you can watch that show with your 80-year-old grand. Like you could, it's a very family oriented show,
Yes.
and and that's what I think I love most about it is it's like it's kind of for everybody, and everybody can kind of relate to one character and find something about it. So
I know it looks a little out there, but try and keep an open mind.
Welcome to Grace Point.
You know much about the rehab?
I'm not a druggie.
Dad! Brandon, run! Run!
I'm trying like a background, like I just have like.
Well, this is a practice session, so
How's it going? How are you?
I'm freezing my ass off in Chicago, okay? It's like negative degrees
Dude, I do
outside.
I do so many. Oh, I'm in Florida, so like I'm completely missing this polar vortex, whatever they're calling it. So
We're in Florida because I heard there was like actual snow that dropped in Florida. They were saying on the news. I was like, I can't believe that.
yeah, I'm in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. So I'm like, we never get anything. I mean, it's pretty cold right now. It's not
Yeah.
like I mean, it's like 60. That's freezing to all of us. But yeah, it's like snowing in Jacksonville. We're all like, what is going on?
Okay, so up
But,
north. Wow.
yeah.
It's wild. But here it's literally 0 degrees plus wind chill. It's like negative something. It's not human like. You know what I
I
mean?
don't know how do it in Chicago. I have a friend that lives there, and I'm like, genuinely don't know how you live like that. Great city, but it's like the
Yeah.
weather. I can't.
It's
But
yeah,
I'm from
it's
Florida, so I'm very biased.
100%. You probably wouldn't survive here, literally. It's just something you get used to in some way. I
Yeah,
mean, you can't really get used to this sort of icy cold where, the dog doesn't want to go outside even or
oh
anything.
my
But
god.
yeah, so but I'm warm inside, so it's all good. I
Yeah,
still got
yeah.
my Christmas tree up. I'm behind on times,
Yeah, what's gonna take that down? It's
It really
time to go.
soon. And it probably this weekend. It's coming down. I have too much Christmas stuff going on. I'm like, okay, it's time to give it up. As much as I love
Yeah,
this
yeah.
season, time to give it up.
It looks inviting though. It looks inviting. I like the sign. It's definitely a good background. It's better than mine. I just look like I live in like, oh, like there's nothing going on back here. But
Well, that's made more mysterious in that way too,
yeah, I
What
guess,
really is
right?
going on.
I like that. Yeah, I'll say that from now on.
Well, I'm glad you took the time to talk to me. I appreciate it a lot. Man, this movie was outstanding. I was so surprised how intriguing it was, and that plot twist just really I did not see that coming.
Yeah.
At the end, what was your first reaction when you were reading the script and you saw what was actually going to happen and happen? Did it hit you like a kind of with surprise too?
Yeah, no, I mean, the first thing I told Rory Karp, who's the writer and
Hmm.
director, I was like, it's hard to shock me nowadays. I feel like when I'm reading a script or watching a movie, I'm like overthinking everything, and
Yeah.
I'm just trying to figure it out. But I genuinely did not expect that. And then I liked going back and looking at all the ways that it was kind of leading up to that.
Hmm.
So definitely, like, I think it's good to also rewatch this movie too, because you can kind of like see all the ways that again it was just leading up to it. But yeah, I mean, I loved it. It was fun. It was entertaining, but it was also like it had a real message behind it, and I just think it handled all those sensitive topics really well. So
Hmm.
I enjoyed it. Yeah.
I mean, I was surprised in the middle of nowhere. They had cute girls working in these gas stations too. I'm like, I don't see that anywhere in regular
Yeah, yeah,
places.
it's a weird town. It's a weird town. I guess it's like, it's funny because when I was thinking about, this interview, I'm like, it's so hard not to talk about the twist at the end. I'm
Yeah.
just like, I don't even, like, I'm trying not to give anything away, but
We can always put a
it's hard, but
spoiler
yeah.
alert to if it slips or
Yeah,
whatnot. So,
you might have to, dude.
yeah.
I'm gonna go off on like I know I was trying to figure out all the ways that I could explain the movie without giving away the ending, but it's like,
Yeah.
yeah, it's definitely it was a good thing because like I said, it's hard to shock people nowadays. So
100%.
when
I
you,
was
when
blown away. The closest thing I could think of in comparison, which is one of my favorite movies, actually, The Game. There's a movie called The Game with Michael Douglas and Sean Penn. it had a similar sort of twist to it,
Or
and I have not seen that. It's been 20 years since that movie at least came out. Uh,
what did you say? Sorry, you froze a little bit there. What movie were you talking about?
it's called The Game, with
Yeah.
Michael
Okay. So
Douglas.
I watched it after, like a year after we shot Grace Point, and I remember Rory talking about it, but
Oh,
I,
really?
I, I didn't think about it. And I'm a big Sean Penn fan, so
Yeah.
I'm like shocked I didn't see it before. But yeah, no, I remember watching it with my friends. I'm like, this is so much like the movie that I did before, and then I
Yes.
think I gave away the vibe for them. But
That's the only movie I could connect this one to, and that was like, I was like, will there ever be a movie like The Game again to sort of have this twist where you're going in on this ride and you just
right,
don't see it coming at the end, no matter
yeah,
what. And I'm like, wow, Rory pulled it off. I'm like, he must have
Rory
seen
pulled it
The
off.
Game potentially, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah, yeah. And again, like I liked going back and seeing like it was also I think a really good concept to do with the with out of with drug addiction,
Yeah,
you know? And I
100%.
think it definitely was like it was surprising, but yeah, it was very, very interesting. I really liked that. And I love that movie too, The Game.
Yeah. Yeah, the theme here about, it's kind of funny. I guess I'm on a drug addiction movie ring right now. I just spoke to Alex Rowan. He did a great movie about like opioids and Appalachian too, and how many people's lives were sort of ruined. It was a really good character piece that he did. And now this sort of movie, it's a theme that it's sort of overlooked, in this country that it happens. We don't pay attention, these smaller sort of rural towns and countries, how bad it is. And it's not always like the fault of the people. They're just in bad situations, either with lack of finances or dealing with some sort of, through hard work, crippling,
Yeah.
body pain and stuff that they puts them in these situations. It's an interesting perspective because when you think about like drug addicts and junkies, think about these low class, low level people, but it's not always the case to be mindful
Yeah,
of.
I mean, more so than not. I mean, I think that like, with this film that I appreciate. I mean, addiction is one of those things that everybody has a story about it. Everybody,
Yeah,
and it's that's a big responsibility because you know that, and then people don't need me or you saying it. It's one of the biggest problems in America,
right.
and it does need to continue to be talked about. And it's like, I think that with this movie, it approached it in a sensitive way and with understanding. It wasn't
Mhm.
like I liked how you were kind of going through Brandon's experiences rather than like approaching it in a weird way. It was very sympathetic, I think, and it definitely I liked how it took you through that journey with him. So, and I think that every character in the movie had their own issues, so it
Mhm.
was struggling in some way. And yeah, I think that I'm really happy that more people are talking about it, especially in art, because it's definitely something that until we got to keep talking about it until we can make some, serious changes as a society.
100%. It's one of those things. It's a serious issue that sort of gets swept under the rug, for whatever
Yeah,
reason, and
yeah,
got a negative connotation about it, and sometimes
right.
people don't look deeper into what the root cause of it is, and I
Yeah,
think that's a part of it. The optics are a problem of this
yeah.
situation.
Yeah, I think people are definitely just afraid to talk about it. And that's also interesting about, Brandon's character. He's kind of like, he's somebody that maybe you wouldn't really expect to have these
Yeah.
issues. And he's coming dad that really cares about him. It felt really real. And it just, again, it felt like, something that it did it in a way that I think was appropriate. And I
Yeah.
really appreciated that.
And I think Rory's
Yeah.
metaphors here for this character too, where he's just running on a run from potential killers here, but he's running from
Yeah.
himself technically.
Yeah.
That's the metaphor. He's running from trying to run it from his addiction too at the same time. So I
Right.
think that was an interesting sort of contrast that he illustrated here in this film.
Right.
How did
Yeah, I
you connect
agree
with the
completely.
How did you connect with the cast? I mean, this is a pretty tight-knit cast. You get to hang out with a bunch of UFC guys too, so that's pretty cool. But
It was
just
pretty.
in general,
Yeah, no, it's funny because I think the film was shot in 3 weeks, which is insane.
wow,
And
that's
I,
quick.
I'm pretty sure it was 3 weeks or 2 weeks. It was something like that. I mean, I was only there for like a week, but it
Wow.
was interesting that I got we really all got, and that's the cool thing about a movie set is like it's hard to describe to people how close you get to
Hmm.
people, but especially when it's intimate and when it's not, you don't have months and months. You're just like, we got to get this as good as possible in a short amount of time. And yeah, I mean, I really enjoyed everybody, the cast and the crew. Everybody was great. And yeah, I know the fact that we had like these guys who, just they were just such good sports about it, and they were great. And yeah, we all got along really well. It was also just a fun movie. I mean, we shot in Laurinburg, North Carolina. I don't
I
know if
was
I told
gonna ask you. Okay.
yeah, no, it was such a cool little town that it's funny because I hope one of the many things that I hope that people can take away from this movie, especially like in the industry, is this little town has so much to offer, and we were filming at these really sick locations. And yeah, no, it was really fun. It's definitely like it happened a few years ago, but it definitely stands out in my mind as just like the one of the best onset experiences that I had. So it was great.
It seemed like it'd be a hell of a hiking town. I mean, the
Yeah.
hills, the sort of the water, you got a mixture of everything there, you know?
Yeah, yeah. Johnny Lowe, who plays Brandon, he was doing a lot. He was running around. He was like every day. He just like looked so tired because he was just like, but he was great. And he yeah, it's like it's definitely an action packed film, and it was a good place to do that. Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, you had some running around to do, some physicality
yeah,
to do.
a little bit of it. Yeah, no, it was good. Yeah, I was good thing I was like working out because I was like I would be way too tired for all this. But yeah, I
They
think
put
you'll
you
be
through a
able to tell with
gauntlet.
Johnny. Yeah. But it was really fun. I mean, we had a blast.
Yeah, when you work on indie films like that, it's more of a grassroots effort, right? Everyone kind of needs to come together. Make, and you said 2 weeks to 3 weeks. That's insane, to put a feature movie together with so many moving parts. What do you learn about yourself, not only as an actor, but as a person when you got to work in these sort of, quick environments that are, demanding in a sense too, but also collaborative for sure.
Yeah. No, I mean that's a great question. I definitely went away from this experience being like it was one of the most collaborative experiences I've ever had, which is I don't know. I mean, I think when you have a director like Rory who gives you the comp, like one of the main things that he said before we started filming is he was like, you know what? I just want to get talented people together and just show off what they can do. And I was like,
Hmm.
that's really a cool thing for a director to say because he's the one running the show. I mean, he's the writer, the producer, like he's all of it. So I really think that was just, he just created an environment where everybody felt really supported. And, like I said, we all got, pretty close just in that short span of time. So, yeah, I mean, I definitely just learned that, there's definitely, it makes things so much easier when the person that's running the show is just like as supportive as he was. So yeah, I was very lucky to be in such a collaborative experience because it's hard to get that as an actor at this stage. So
Hmm.
uh, yeah, it was definitely, I learned a lot from it, and I really enjoyed so much of it.
I wonder if he set up sort of a potential franchise here. Maybe not with the same characters, but like an ongoing story of this. I wonder if he's got a. Hopefully, I get to talk to him, to ask him if he's
Yeah,
got more
no,
in mind.
that's kind of true. I could see it kind of like just going through the same because at the end, there's obviously a little bit of like a cliffhanger of how it
Yeah,
ends that it's kind of going to repeat itself. But yeah, I mean that's definitely something to think about. I didn't think about that at the time, but
yeah.
it's very good. Yeah,
You set it up nicely. It made sense too. Uh,
right.
it's off topic here, off the move topic. I just spoke to Logan Allen, Sweet Magnolias. I feel like now I'm on track now. Speaking with you, another project of yours that you worked on. Are you still working on that, or are you wrapped up?
Yeah. The fourth season is actually
Yeah,
coming out
just right, coming out.
soon. Yeah, I think it's February 6th, early February.
Yes,
Um, yeah, Logan that's my guy. I love
he's
Logan.
awesome. He's just such a chill, regular dude. I mean, just like we
Yeah,
chatted for so long.
yeah. No, he's the best. That's really funny though. Yeah, no, I
I just spoke to him a
love
few
that.
days ago, which is so ironic. I'm like, wait a minute, now I get to talk to you.
That is kind of weird. Yeah.
Yeah, different projects though, but how's that
Right.
experience? I mean, you guys are in this in Georgia in this beautiful town and everything. Logan says it's like you guys are like family in a sense, like everyone, is used to the locals and all that. What is that like? That sort of set. A little bit different from this one.
Yeah, it's a little bit different as far as just size, but I've been really lucky, dude. I've been on just really, really great sets where the people that are running the show are super, super supportive and just like nice people. Like on Sweet Magnolias, like one of the directors or the executive producers will like be like, "Oh, are you having fun? Like that's great that you're asking me if I'm having fun." Like it's just
Wow.
they genuinely care about the people that work on that show. And Logan, all the kids on Sweet Magnolias, we all get along so well, and
Yep.
we've been doing it now for like around 5 years. So it's definitely it's been such a great experience in my career to have that kind of that to be on that kind of set, something so big yet intimate in a way.
Mhm.
Yeah, no, I love that show, and I'm very grateful for all it's done for all of us. It's kind of insane, but
Seems pretty
yeah.
cool. Hey, you hit 4 seasons. You're doing something right, especially on Netflix, right? I mean, it's
I mean,
going. People like it.
yeah. There's really not a lot like it on streaming, and I think it's
Agreed.
something that. And I was just talking to one of my friends about it. I'm like, you can watch that show with your 5-year-old son, and you can watch that show with your 80-year-old grand. Like you could. It's a very family oriented show,
Yes.
and and that's what I think I love most about it is it's like it's kind of for everybody, and everybody can kind of relate to one character and find something about it. So yeah, no, I'm like I said, I've been really lucky that I've been on just really, really great sets that people are just very supportive.
Yeah,
And
that's really unique, especially, early in your career, and you
right,
sort of get that feel, because this
yeah,
industry could be nasty too, there's different
yeah,
sides of
yeah,
it. But to
yeah,
work with good people and on good sets, that's such a great gift that sometimes a lot of actors don't even experience. So that's really
yeah.
fortunate in a way.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I definitely think like before, that was my first job. So when I went on it, I'm like, oh, this is just how everything's gonna be. Like everybody's so nice. And then I really realized after the years that like I know you just got really, really lucky that you got to be on some set that, again, people genuinely care if you're having fun. Like that's
Mhm.
just
That's
something that,
amazing.
yeah, yeah. So again, it's just a great experience all around. But yeah.
Are you based in Florida in the South?
Yeah, so I'm living in Fort Lauderdale right now. I'm from here.
Uh-huh.
Uh, yeah, no, it's definitely it's a hard place to leave.
Are you from there originally?
Yeah, yeah, I was born here.
Okay.
Uh, yeah, yeah.
Can't blame you. I mean, this is the spot. I mean, people
Yeah,
go
and
there for
every time like
vacations.
the cold fronts come in, I'm like, ooh, okay, I'm happy I'm not up north right now. But yeah, no, it's the best. Like I said, it's kind of hard to leave is the only problem with it. But
You know
yeah.
what's amazing too? That being an actor, it's kind of wild that in today's day and age you can live in Florida in Fort Lauderdale and still be
Right.
working on big movies and shows and not have to be in LA. It's wild because that used to not be the case. You would have to be based in LA, or they would cast from LA. But with Atlanta being a big hub now, you can live back home in a sense, in your case, in the South and still do work and get work.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's great. I mean, I also just, what I like about it too, kind of opens the doors for so many different kinds of people and
Mhm.
people that, might not have the money to go to LA or New York. Those are expensive places. So it's like
100%.
I think that that's a really cool thing with, I'm not somebody that's like always like so pro like technology, just being like I'm a little bit like traditional and like
We've
I don't
noticed with the camera moving in
yeah,
front of
you
Zoom.
noticed. I'm like, but that is one of the many things really in reality that is so cool about this day and age is there's just a lot going on for everybody, so
Yeah.
it's good. But yeah, I
And
gotta
keeps you
figure out my
grounded.
background, but
Yeah, it's all good. Keeps you grounded. It's cool to be around family and friends and familiar surroundings. I've done the LA thing and it's a different world out there. Most of the people there are, venture out by themselves, no friends, no family. It's a difficult town to survive, even if this is your sole mission too, you just
right,
it wears on you. But like this, you're in sort of familiar surroundings and it
yeah,
seems it's like manifesting to your work. You get to work on happy, fun sets too, with
yeah.
people.
Yeah, if I could drop my mom and my dad in LA and my siblings and my friends, then maybe. But like
Yeah.
it's that I really I'm like just wanting to just hang out with my parents.
Hey,
That's it.
that's a very good thing. Enjoy the
Yeah,
time while you have it and opportunity. So
right.
if you venture off eventually, if it sends you there, great. But you're doing this, you're making your way in this industry and doing good stuff and get to be at home. It's a win-win every way
Yeah,
around.
I mean that's kind of the life. I appreciate
Yeah,
that. Yeah, no, it's pretty cool. I'm having fun.
100%. What do you like to do for fun? Any hobbies and interests when you're not working that you're really committed to?
Whew. I mean, I like to read. Like I said, I'm into working out. I like working out. I try to travel when I can. Mostly, I would just say if I had to have like one hobby that I love is probably reading. I would say that's something that I think like I try to pick things that kind of like help the acting part of it too, and it definitely does. And yeah, I would
So
say
help
that
self-help books or what sort of or fiction? What are you into?
I think like most people, I started out in self-help books. Like that was
Uh-huh.
definitely it's not an easier read, but it's like it just kind of like gets your attention going more, I
Yeah.
think. And I started out during quarantine with the self-help and all that. Now I would say my main like I love, philosophy. Just anything that I hear about from my friends or from people that I'm talking to, like I just like anything that is just kind of different and unique. But
Yeah.
um yeah, I definitely would say like reading is probably the thing that I enjoy most when I'm not working. But also tennis, swimming. I don't have anything
Excellent.
like too interesting, but yeah.
Yeah, you're a regular person. I love that. You get
I
to
mean,
do your
I'm
regular
almost too
activities.
regular. I don't really have a lot like going on that's too crazy other than this. But
Yeah.
yeah, I just like to just hang out really.
Are you a classic physical book or a Kindle person?
Oh, I'm a physical book
Yes,
person.
you have
There's
to, right? It's a big difference. It is a difference.
yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think like I there's some books that like if I'm reading a bunch of different book or if I'm reading like a few different hard books, then like I will sometimes like want to get like an easy like just simple read like on my phone. So like it's
Mhm.
better than like being on social media, I guess. Like I'll
Sure.
just have like that. But if I'm like really trying to read something, I need the real thing. I don't know. It's like hard. You get too distracted. I
Yes.
don't know. But yeah,
It
I'm
just there's
definitely
something about holding a book and going through the pages and moving the pages. It's something about it that makes you more committed and like in tune with it than you're scrolling or looking at
yeah.
a.
Well, and if like you write like notes on your phone, like with the app or whatever, like I don't know. I like the fact like I could keep this in like a safe place and like nobody
Yes.
can see it ever. Like I don't know. I definitely yeah. I agree with you on that. I don't really like. Even though I know a lot of people that love like the Kindle and stuff like that, but I don't. It's not for me. I don't
I'll
think.
take the storage. They're like, oh yeah, books. There's so much space they take up. I'm like, I like that. I have a stack of
Yeah,
books, and all that. It's fine.
I'm old fashioned, honestly. Like
Yeah,
I like to just know this is just this is how it works. So yeah.
exactly. I like it. A classic style. And
Yeah.
you mentioned traveling. Any fun trips lately that you've done, or any on the agenda?
Oh my gosh. Well, on the agenda, I am going to LA for the premiere of Grace Point, so
Very
that's
nice.
um, fun. Even though considering the times in LA right now, it's definitely like it's just so sad what is happening there in the
Yeah.
past month. But we're gonna do that, and hopefully it'll be fun and yeah. But that's pretty much it. I mean, I don't really know if I have any like really cool trips coming up, but you're kind of making me think maybe I gotta like get on that.
There's that list. Start jotting down places you want to visit, or
Yeah. I gotta start doing that. But yeah.
yeah. I mean, listen, it happened for me randomly. This past year, I went to like multiple trips I didn't even think I would be going. I went to like Europe
Right.
twice in the span of a few months. So it's like sometimes it kind of just happens out of nowhere. The less
Yeah.
sometimes planning or thinking you do, the more you go and do it.
I'm not a big planner. I don't really like planning a lot of
Yeah.
things unless it's like work related. I don't really like I just think your expectations you get too high. Like I'd rather just have somebody plan the whole thing and like tell me about it like a week before and be like, all right, okay, we're going.
We're going, be
Then
ready, and that's it, right?
right. But then on the flip side, I'm like, no, I can't do it that last minute. So I'm like, I don't even know. I just think massive contradiction. But yeah, that is it's fun. I like when that's kind of the way things come about as well, for sure.
There you go. Well, you're gonna be busy. You got that premiere. That's gonna be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I was
Hopefully.
hoping I'd be in LA to be there physically, but I'll be heading to the Super Bowl, so I'm like, I'll take
Oh
that
well,
route.
can't blame you for that.
Yeah,
I
I'm
would
like,
love to do the Super Bowl. That's in New Orleans this year, right?
yeah, it is. So I covered it last year in Vegas for the first time, and now two years in a row. It's like one of the coolest things I've ever been part of. It's like
Ooh,
Disneyland for football fans, really. It's
I
like
can't
super.
even imagine who's in it. By the way, I need a.
We don't know yet. It's down to four teams, so it could be Washington, Philadelphia, Buffalo, or Kansas City. So
Wow.
we'll find out on Sunday who's going to be going.
Yeah. No, that sounds a lot of fun. That sounds very fun.
Yeah, sometimes I get to do cool things. That's definitely
Yeah.
one of them. And you soak up the moment. You know, it's like it's one of those things where like you're in it, like, wow, I appreciate this is super cool, and I won't forget about it. You know, it's like you got to take in the moment when you do cool things.
Yeah. No, for sure. Totally agree.
Well, that's great. Hey, great job in the film. I really enjoy, like I said, this movie really surprised me. And it's the best feeling to have a movie surprise you and like, wow, this was so cool and I didn't see it coming. In a day and age where everything's like recycled and redone and you can predict more than half the movies where it's going and what's going to happen, this was such a nice surprise.
Yeah, no, I really enjoyed it. I'm excited actually to see it again at the premiere, because it's kind of been a little while since I've seen it. But
And you
yeah,
probably
no,
saw the rough cut, right? So,
I saw, yeah, I did, and then we had it got into the Santa Barbara Film Festival, which is great,
okay,
and
great. Yeah.
yeah, people really enjoyed it there. But that's probably the last time that I've seen it. But yeah, I'm really excited. I mean, I really enjoyed it, and I'm also just excited to see like everybody that's in it
Yeah,
because
getting back together with everyone, that's gonna be cool, you know, to celebrate the film. You put in that quick 2 to 3 weeks of a lot of work, and now
I
it's sort of
know.
the
Yeah, it's so
fruits of
funny the way that
labor.
works. Yeah,
You get to enjoy that. It's
yeah.
gonna be a lot of fun. I'll be talking to the remaining of your cast. So I got like more interviews lined up. I'm gonna spread the news on this movie. I'm excited to do so, and it's gonna be cool. Hopefully people get to check it out and experience it.
Well, I really appreciate you shining a light on it. You know, that's the thing about independent films. It's like, you know, it's when it's not backed by anything big, it's like it's just kind of it's really cool when people kind of come out and like support it. And you know, I think it's a really great film, and I think people, you know, are really gonna enjoy it. But they gotta know what it is first, I guess. So
Exactly. Yeah, you got to
yeah,
back movies like that because there's a lot of good stuff sometimes that gets unseen and it's just kind of word of mouth, you know, that gets it
yeah,
going. And, you know, some people are just trying to make a grassroots effort to put it out there.
right.
And this is one that definitely should be seen. Like I said, really good message and great twists and fun acting. I really enjoyed it. So it was great. A little bit of a difference from you from Sweet Magnolias to this, you know,
Yeah,
two
oh,
different
yeah.
worlds.
Very, very different. But that's what I like. I mean, that's what you hope for as an actor is just to just do to do as many different things as you can possibly do. So yeah, I definitely very lucky, very lucky.
Anything coming up for you next? Are you working on anything? You're just kind of waiting it out?
Waiting out for the most part. I mean,
Mhm.
besides the show, Sweet Magnolia is coming
Yeah.
out to this and in the end of at the end of the month, and I guess in a week from now or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that's those are my main things right now. But yeah, very excited about them
Pretty ironic. You have two things coming out at the same time, you know,
I
like within a week
know.
of each other.
Yeah, no, I that's it's funny, especially like life as an actor. You're like, all right, like when it's what's gonna happen, guys. But yeah, it's very, you know, it's very nice. I'm excited for people to see both of them.
100%. Appreciate you taking time. By the way, I got to say, love the curls. That's a unique look. It's your hair's long and nice. Like keep the curls in the movies too, if they allow you to for your
I'm
characters.
sure if my parents see this, they're gonna be like, "Did you brush your hair? Really?" I'm gonna be
No,
like, "I tried, but it's not."
it's not
It's not
cooperating. Leave it. It gives you a unique look. Those are hard to get, you know. So
well, thank you, thank you. I appreciate that. But
absolutely. Harlan, again, thanks for your time taking me. Enjoy your trip to LA at the premiere, and I'll do my best to spread the word. And let's do this again sometime.
yeah, thank you. I really appreciate it. Enjoy Chicago. I'm sure it's a lot of fun right now.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be a human icicle if I step outside in about half an hour, but I'll survive.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you. I really appreciate it. And I'll talk.
Absolutely. Talk soon then.
All right.
All right,
See ya.
bye-bye.
Bye.
Welcome to Grace Point.